What's going on, guys? Hamilton here with the Trading Initiative, and I am back again with yet another trade review. That's two this week, and this time it's on ticker AMD. So before we actually get into how we found AMD, I just want you to get a general idea of how AMD has moved over the last 2 weeks, because we have been in this trade for about 13 or 14 days straight. Now, as you can see, there is a horizontal level breakdown. If you're privy to the TTI swing trading system, you know we love these horizontal level breakouts and breakdowns. You can see the capitulation move, which once again is something we target as a group when we're going short, and an extended move off of a consolidation zone. So let's actually go back and find out how we were able to find AMD to begin with, some of the other trades within the same industry that we were looking at taking, why we decided to go with AMD, and why AMD ended up being the best decision. All right, guys, so let's pull up Discord and actually look at when we were originally looking at AMD. September 16th, right off of the morning open, right? It's 9:35 in the morning on a Friday, September 16th. Try to put yourself back in that perspective. I don't know what you were doing, but we were looking at a potential capitulation zone on some of these semiconductor names. As I pull up the chart here, I want you to notice what we were looking at within the semiconductor ETF itself. A lot of growth and specifically tech-based names have been beat to crap. A few areas in particular have been holding up better than others. One example is going to be your semiconductors. Back on the 16th of September, there was still about a 20% move down towards those 2020 highs. We knew that that was a lot of froth potentially in the market, and if the market decided to bring SMH down, there was a clear runway down towards those potential 2020 highs. We've been using that reference point across every single industry and sector that we've been looking at for the last 9 months. So we knew that if we wanted to grab some tech shorts, semiconductors based off of this rounded top and potential horizontal level breakdown, this was an area of the market, this industry that we wanted to get short. And that's when we found AMD. As you can see, horizontal level, this is like our bread and butter when it comes to trading the TTI swing trading system. It doesn't matter if we're going long, doesn't matter if we're going short. We have to be able to identify a risk on and a risk off level, and those horizontal levels are key to our system. AMD is an example here. You can see the horizontal level somewhere around 74.50. That was our entry trigger. We said if AMD closes below 74.50, we want to be getting short AMD. And as always, here's the actual trade idea as we typed it up on the 16th, right? We had a risk on level below the 74.50 area, right? This is the area we were just talking about, this horizontal level. We said, listen, if it pops up and over 78 and closes, we want to stop adding into this short. Maybe we just shorted a potential support bounce. We had a long-term price target of $60, which you can see is the next resistance turn support level. This is going to be critical in a couple seconds when I show you the hidden gem here, why this turned out to be an A+ setup for us, and a PT number 2 of 55, which is just an extended move to the downside off of this resistance. If it breaks as support, right, if this previous resistance line that is now a support line, that's what we're focusing on. If that breaks, we could see a potential capitulation move down towards 55. So the trading plan was there. We're looking for a potential 20% move, which is huge, right? A 20% spot move potentially incoming off of this 73.45 breakdown. That's what we were targeting. We focused on the $65 puts in October that were going for about $1.30 at the time. Now, I want to point something out. On the 18th of September, we actually had a discussion during one of our strategy sessions. Some of the guys said, listen, TSM also looks like we could potentially be breaking down. Should we be taking TSM with AMD? Should we be taking TSM instead of AMD, etc.? And so what we did during our strategy session was we actually compared the two setups and we chose which one we thought was going to be the higher performing setup to the downside. Once again, we're going to look at AMD here, right? We have the 74.5 breakdown, but I want you to focus on the VRVP indicator here. This is a low volume node, right? If you look at the gap and go here from 2020, you see a parabolic move with very little volume being bought at these price levels, which you can confirm with this VRVP indicator. This is what turned AMD into a potential A+ setup for us. We said, listen, below 74.5, there is very little volume until we hit $60. That is a 20% plus potential move down towards our price target. With no volume being present from 74.5 down to 60, the odds of an aggressive capitulation improve drastically. Key in once again on this 4% ADR, telling us that AMD moves on average from peak to trough 4% per day. So this is a very volatile name. It's a large cap, it's a tech-related name, it's a semiconductor name, and we knew we wanted to be short tech, specifically semiconductors, and it's giving us a risk on level through a 20% spot move to the downside price target with no volume. This is what told us this was an A+ setup. You do not find setups with this big of a move with low volume. Now, we looked at TSM as well, and yeah, this is actually not a bad setup whatsoever, but there are a few things that made us choose AMD over TSM. One thing it also has a low volume node all the way down to $60. But the two determining factors that made us want to choose AMD over TSM. First off, the ADR is 2%. This 2% ADR means it's just a less volatile name. And if we are playing a position expecting an aggressive capitulation, we want to be playing the more volatile name. TSM being 2% just does not give us enough juice to potentially capitulate, at least when we compare it to the AMD 4%er. Secondly, if you are a technical trader, previous price action should matter to you. Below 74.5 on the AMD chart, there was no price action for 2 years. TSM, on the other hand, has price action going back 8 weeks. So as a group, we asked each other, what are the odds that TSM catches a bid here, finds some support here at this previous level we were just at 8 weeks ago? When you have two damn near identical trades, you need to be able to build a system that tells you which one is going to be able to give you a higher success rate, higher probability rate of capturing the piece of price movement that you are expecting. TSM's 2% ADR is just not volatile for us compared to the 4% in AMD, and AMD has no previous price action in the immediate area and TSM does. So for those two reasons alone, we chose AMD to be our A+ setup, and we expected AMD to outperform TSM through the capitulation zone. Now here's the actual AMD chart. We bought it on the 16th, and it wasn't just an immediately green position. And as a matter of fact, it was range bound for 6 days straight. And we were red on the position prior to the actual capitulation move. In this instance, the AMD capitulation candle that we were looking for happened on the 22nd. Flipping back to Discord, you can kind of get a general idea of what we were looking at. Here's the beginning of the capitulation move when I posted it the morning of the 22nd. And you can see that the guy's still in because we were holding it for 6 days in the red. Had to check it out. Are we still in this play? Are people still holding it? And they were. And obviously they started updating their profits to show what the capitulation move ended up netting them. After the capitulation move, we got a 3 or 4 day consolidation. And now typically what happens, and I'm going to tell you guys because I've been trading for a long time, and I'll show you in Discord when I talked through it yesterday actually. Typically what happens off of these capitulation candles or parabolic candles to the upside is you get a tightly bound consolidation range where it's almost like the market is digesting that previous aggressive move. It doesn't matter if it's to the upside or downside, but typically what we see is volatility wanes and then we see a breakdown in this case because it's short in the direction of the original break, right? So if we were looking for a capitulation move, we got it. We get a consolidation zone. Typically, we see a break following the same direction as the original move. This case it's down, this case it's down. If we were looking to the upside, we would expect a breakout, a consolidation, and then another breakout. Back to Discord, and you can see how people were managing it. They closed for profits inside that consolidation. Some of the guys closed half of their position, let the other half run free. Profitable trades all around, but they utilized that consolidation period to re-enter, capture some of those profits, etc. But what I want you to focus on is the 28th here. I posted about it inside Discord. You can see what we were looking at the time. I said idea there is a consolidation pattern after a capitulation move. Would imagine volatility dries until another break to the downside. It's just my thoughts. Either way, the play is still valid. You do not want to necessarily close this play altogether just because we're consolidating. These contracts were up 100% across the board essentially for everybody. Why would you want to close this trade when we expect a $60 price target to be hit and we understand that consolidation zones happen after aggressive moves? And obviously, back to TradingView, you can see today we get the massive 6.17% move to the downside, and we're realistically closer to $60 than we were at $74.50. This move has net the original position 250%. Those $130 contracts are now going for like $440 or $450, something like that. Just an absolutely insane move, and I don't see any reason why AMD can't continue its march down towards that $60 and to fill that low volume node that we were talking about all the way down to $59, $60. This is why it was an A+ setup. But let me take it one step further to show you why this was the best short you could have taken at the time when we were looking at all the different semiconductor names. And let's flip over to Koyfin, and I want you to focus on something. Over the last month, AMD is down the most in the semiconductor space at 27.52%, followed by NVIDIA at 22.64%, Monolithic Power at 20.71%, Intel at 19.91%, TSM at 16. Guys, I want you to focus on the quality of the trading decision to short AMD against TSM. AMD, we've been in this trade now for 14 days, is down 27.5% on the month. TSM is only down 16%, and the reason why we were able to capture that is because of the quality of the trade in the chart, that low volume node that we attacked as a group to the downside, and the fact that we traded the more volatile name in AMD. All right, just so you guys see really quick, because I want to show you guys from our risk on area to current price, AMD's down around 14.5%, and I went ahead and did it for TSM. It's down 9.75. And listen, we have guys in TSM inside the group, in TTI. There's like 2 guys that are in TSM right now. Everybody else is in AMD. This original AMD play, like I said, is up 250%. The TSM play is up 150%. So I don't want to sit here and say, don't trade TSM. It's not a good trade. Of course, it was still a great trade. But in TTI, we do not simply congratulate winning trades. If you're in TTI, we expect you to win. We're not going to congratulate every single win. What we are going to congratulate you on is, did you or did you not make the best possible trading decision given the information that you had? AMD was the higher quality setup, and the proof is in the profit right now. Back to Discord really quick so you can see what we're looking at. Obviously, we updated it today off the capitulation move. And the guys, we fill in these threads as we are in the trades together, so everybody kind of has an understanding of where we are. You can see some of the profits. These are their second and third positions during this entire move. You can see profits is 58, 39, 63, 50, ended up with 80, etc. Everything that we do as a group is recorded and managed together, so nobody should be lost if you are inside TTI. And honestly, I think it's probably the best part of the group is we are legitimately a community. Nobody falls through the cracks. As long as you put effort in, you will know exactly what we are trading and where we are within that trade. And you know I got to plug the group at the end of the video here. Listen, guys, if you found value in this video whatsoever, either the thought process going behind AMD versus TSM, the fact that we were even able to grab AMD to begin with, please like the video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Leave a comment below because it helps engagement. We have a smaller channel here. We're trying to grow and reach more people. And listen, if you're an experienced trader and you're a few tweaks away from profitability, join the group. In 90 days, we will turn you into a consistently profitable trader. If you are a beginner trader, it might take a little more than 90 days, but I guarantee you, you will become a better trader in 90 days, and we will teach you the right way from the very beginning, the TTI way. Check the link in the description below, and I'll catch you in the next video.